don't want to hustle on, so why are you putting in the extra effort to drag your foot? If anyone wants to use that as an excuse, fine, he kept his foot on the bag too long. He secured the tag and the easy out, and because of that, he deserved to be kicked by a player who we've seen do a million other dirty things. But if you want to excuse this one and spin it into your own little way to get out of blaming Manny Machado, congrats to you!
You spinner, you've been spinning at home.
BS.
Spinning. Aguilar.
You guys are full of BS.
Totally started that. Totally started it.
Do the spying allegations make you look at the Astros differently?
No, we all know the rule around here. The spying allegations are only important when it's the Patriots that are guilty of it.
Or the Red Sox.
Baseball does this kind of stuff all the time. So the Astros won against the Indians the other day, 11-3, and there was somebody wearing a Houston ID badge taking pictures, and it would appear to be stealing signs. And I don't have any objection to baseball people behaving the way they always do, looking for competitive advantages in the shadows. This team specifically has a lot of questions about how the spin rate of its pitchers gets better every time someone arrives in Houston. They're doing a lot of things in the shadows. It's part of why they're so good.
Yeah, I do have a problem with them doing whatever they want to in the shadows to be better. In fact, it's frustrating to me every time we hear about this. It was the Cardinals with the databases. It's maybe the Red Sox are doing this. Every time I hear about these mischievous means to try to get an upper hand, it frustrates me. Just be better at the sport. And I know that sounds naive and innocent, but especially if you're as bad at pulling it off as this guy is, who's got Houston Astros in his Instagram title. He's wearing a badge, he's standing next to the plane, and then later they're like, oh no, he doesn't work for us. At least do better if you're going to try to be underhanded. Like, pull it off a little better.
It's not the cheating she objects to so much. It's be better at it.
It's both, honestly. If you're going to be a cheater, be good at it.
Be a good one.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, Ted Wells.
Oh.
Yes, Ted, what's going on? Oh, you saw the video? You're ready to do an investigation, a good one, an in-depth one? Yeah?
In-depth.
Really? Okay. 5 million? Really?
Yeah.
All right, I will pass the word around, but boy, do you use all the money that they gave you before? Running out of money. That's why you're making it so cheap. Okay, I'll talk to Rob and I'll let him know. Manfred, yeah. Okay, Manfred, yeah. All right, don't worry about it. I'll
Hang up the phone.
Ted Wells, flash sale.
Ted Wells.
Hey, Ted Wells. My father's been resurrecting Ted Wells jokes 10 years past you thinking about it.
How worried should the 76ers be after seeing Marco Fultz play in the real game last night?
Fultz, a dangerous word for him for a variety of different reasons. Got to be careful around that one. It's a bit of a landmine. So the Sixers get smoked last night against the Celtics, and one of the things that they did to change their team is they got rid of Bellinelli and Ilyasova and these veteran shooters that Simmons and Embiid could use, and they replaced them with the minutes last night of Markelle Fultz, who wasn't very good. They've got a problem on their hands when they're getting the number one overall pick out there on the court for a game, and that's the achievement.
Well, to be fair, the two guys they did bring in to replace that three-point wing play were unavailable due to injury. So we'll have to wait and see if they do make a difference. But they were 5 of 26 from beyond the perimeter last night, and it's very clear that the biggest difference between the Sixers and the Celtics isn't the talent of the top players, but the depth beyond them. Ben Simmons, probably the best player out there last night, but after Simmons and Joel Embiid, what do you really have there? And that seems to point to what during the offseason stood out, which was Brett Brown saying, we're going after it, we're going to get better. And then coming up with almost nothing. So if Markelle Fultz isn't anything better than what we saw last night, they're not going to take a step forward this year.
I do think we probably should point out here, by the way, that the Celtics, their two guys, Hayward and Irving, were pretty terrible last night. And Jason Tatum was their lead guy, and their lead guy can be really good. It'll be interesting to watch with the growth of this team. Who is the guy at the end of these games? Because Irving and Hayward didn't do anything last night.
He's like the Eli Manning of the NBA, Markelle Fultz. He's good from 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet. You go beyond that, you're dead. He can't do anything, man. Everybody knows that. He's a big bust.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right.
I really respect how Poppy seamlessly went from dogging Peyton Manning to Eli. There was no gap in between. One of them throwing ducks every time.
are the Marlins making a mistake by moving their home run sculpture?
Oh, this monstrosity, this blight upon our community, this thing that they filed as art that cost more than their entire outfield last year and was hideous to look at. No, they need to remove that statue the way they need to remove all of the stench and are trying to remove all of the stench from the previous regime.
I couldn't disagree more. I hate this statue. I think it's the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and I mocked it mercilessly when it came around, but now it's all you have left to entertain your fans. You don't have any players. The guy in charge is hated by everyone, and you're going to take away the swirling dolphins and the shooting water? That's literally the only thing to go to the ballpark for at this point. This is a terrible mistake.
And they're going to use the extra space for more fans. Because
yeah.
that's it. They're running out of space for the fans. They're going to get more fans. And that's what Derek Jeter's, that was his marketing move. We need more space for more fans.
That
you know
is
what I mean?
true.
That's right.
Too many sellouts. Need more seats.
Coming up next on my son's TV show, Chris Bergman Anderson.
A lot of people get embarrassed themselves because they order the wrong thing or they do the wrong thing. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing. You have to have a story like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do have one story where it wasn't really about embarrassment. It was more, and you know what, I think I'm going to go get some McDonald's. I tried to do it on my own without a translator, and I ended up at the...
My son's TV show is brought to you by Zip Recruiter, the smartest way to hire.
So a tree falls in your brand new car and totals it.